Well, we've had a few days to reset from the Cleveland Browns NFL free agency moves, non-moves, trades. There's actually a contract extension breaking right now that we'll get to. Who knows what's going to happen during the show? We are live. Browns Talk coming at you. Sick podcast with Andy McNamara.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara. The sickest Cleveland Browns podcast.
Chubb runs, he's to the 10, 15, he's to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There goes Chubb, he's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Chubb Lubba Hub.
It's going to be sick.
Well, hello, everybody. Hope all the Browns fans out there are doing fantastic. I know I am. I was on vacation last week, so I was keeping an eye from a distance on all the Browns breaking news and the signings and the signings elsewhere, trade, and all that good stuff. So today's show, I wanted to take a breath and say, all right, what has happened? What does it mean now? What could the impact be for the draft? Has anything changed? Like I said, moves, non-moves, and the state of the AFC North also. So we'll keep you up to date on all of that. And I want to bring in my guy, Grant Gillilan from IDP Guys. Does tremendous work for them. And we thought, hey, Grant, you know what, man? We went through all the free agency options beforehand. And I was thinking it was a great time to have you back on to kind of see, well, what's happened and then kind of go over what's next. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to get this show going.
Yeah.
We had some pretty good signings, a really nice trade, I think. So
right.
I'm really looking forward to diving into this.
Absolutely. And hey, make sure you're clicking notifications on, subscribe. Yes. Click like, all that good stuff here on YouTube, on Twitter as well, at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81. Click, follow, retweet, all that. Share the conversation. Hit us up in the comments also. Let us know, what's your favorite Browns free agent signing so far? Did you want them to get somebody else realistically that they didn't get? And what does it mean for the draft? Who are you targeting in the draft? So one player you're like, man, if at 54, if AB can go get him, that's the guy I want. So hit us up in the comments. We want to know, what do you think of the Browns free agency and early offseason moves so far? Now, Grant, literally moments before we came on the air, you noticed Nick Chubb was trending. Any cause for concern right now, Nick Chubb trending? That always gets us nervous.
It's just people saying, with this Jeudy contract, does this mean Nick Chubb's going to be cut? I don't see it.
No.
It's just fans talking and analysts trying to stir the media up a little bit so they can get some clicks. We all know how this world is.
Listen, man, get the clickbaits, right? Maybe we'll make the title of this Nick Chubb cut ? And just like have people go crazy. Yeah, people. Okay, Nick Chubb isn't going anywhere. Andrew Berry said he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Now, one interesting bit of news that I heard today, Grant, was that Nick Chubb's goal, whether that happens or not, everyone's saying October, end of October. Nick Chubb is aiming for September. I'm not going to doubt the guy. We've seen him squat, 700 pounds, whatever it is. Like, that's the work ethic of this man. He is relentless. Again, I don't know if it's going to happen, but in Nick Chubb's mind, he wants to be playing in September.
Well, hopefully he goes and gets Aaron Rodgers' doctor so we can get this thing maybe even sooner, which would be awesome. But I wouldn't be too upset with that. Hopefully our schedule's not too tough at the very beginning where we're without Chubb. But I like how our offense is setting up. We're still missing maybe a running back until Chubb gets there.
Right.
I just don't think the guy who we picked up is the right guy to be RB2. But We'll get into that later, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll get into that, and I'm with you, by the way. So we'll be keeping an eye on all of that there, and what really has happened around the AFC North too. And before we get into the Brown stuff, let's go there, because this has been grinding my gears, as it were, Grant, a little bit with all the Steelers talk. Oh, people falling over themselves. Oh, you got Russell, most improved team. Listen, Kenny Pickett is the quarterback equivalent of a bag of rocks, okay? Yeah, you have a breathing human with normal-sized hands. You're going to do better than Kenny freaking Pickett. So for that to be an improvement, pretty low bar. Mason Rudolph looked like his cousins were too friendly. Okay, Mason Rudolph's an idiot, and he's out too. So you got Russell Wilson, and you got Justin Fields. Now, the one thing that bothers me a bit with that, not that I'm afraid at all of the Pittsburgh quarterbacks, because I think Justin Fields, people falling over themselves, Grant, my memory is correct. Myles Garrett isn't afraid of Justin Fields.
No.
He likes Justin Fields.
Yeah. And although we do have to take this with a grain of salt, that Chicago Bears offensive line was terrible.
Yes, it was.
So
yes, it was.
What was it? 7 or 8 sacks one year. It was not good.
Yeah, they had. I think Miles had what was it? He had like 4 sacks. They had like 6, 7 sacks in the one game. But then they beat him again the next time. And my point is this: these are 2 quarterbacks who are now on different teams, different systems again, who nobody wanted. Right? For Russell Wilson, the Denver Broncos paid him $39 million, Grant, to go away. To get here. We don't want you. Steelers only have to pay him the 1.2 mil veteran minimum. So from the Steelers standpoint, in all honesty, it makes sense because you have 1 year really commitments to 2 guys on super cheap deals. If one pops and goes off, great. If not, well, then you figure it out. So I understand it, but to be afraid of Russell Wilson clearly on the downside, like Grant, I'm just not seeing it. Like it's better than what they had. But what they had was terrible.
Yeah, I'm honestly here. I'll start with this. I think the Steelers are going to see the same situation that we did with Flacco and Deshaun Watson this offseason. People, as soon as Russell Wilson doesn't win games, people are going to be chanting for Fields to be the starter. If it was vice versa, it would be the same way.
Yeah.
So that's one. 2, what are they going to do with both of them next year? $1.2 million veteran minimum, I believe, for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Great deal. Justin Fields still on his rookie contract. But what are they going to do next year when they owe him $25 million for his rookie 5th year?
The 5th year. Yep. Yeah, that's the question. Do you keep both? Do you keep one? I guess for the Steelers, they're kind of in that limbo because as much as we despise them, Grant, you give the devil their due. They're with Mike Tomlin. They're never going to be bottom feeders. They're never going to win 2 games, right?
They're even 500, more than 500.
Right. Like look what they did last year with the crap at quarterback that they had. Right. Like they still were able to be competitive. So they're always going to be able to do that because of the defense and that they are well coached. But to be like worried, I've seen the hand wringing from Browns fans. Like, guys, do we not have the reigning defensive player of the year? Yes. Do we have the reigning NFL assistant coach of the year? Who's your defensive coordinator? Also, yes. You added Vrabel as a mind there, and we'll get to who they added on the free agency side. Oh, and there's still the draft to come.
And are we really worried about the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver room right now? It's
No.
George Pickens, Van Jefferson, and Calvin Austin. Are we really worried?
All like Van Jefferson, I liked in LA. I thought he was always on the cusp, but he never got there. He's a guy. Calvin Austin's a little speedy dude who never got there either. Grant, this is the guy in fantasy football. He makes one big splash play and everyone goes out, adds him on waiver wires, and you regret it for the next month. Right? Like that's Calvin Austin. Come on. Hey, George Pickens, look, this guy, Pittsburgh loves drafting head case wide receivers. Like this, if he doesn't get the ball how much he likes, he's going to be pissed off again.
Yeah. And
so
you got to throw Freiermuth in there too.
I do like I
like Freiermuth.
I do like him.
But
I do like him.
It's still not a room that I'm scared of.
No. And their defense is going to be tough, yada, yada. My point is this. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not catapulted themselves to the top of the division with these moves. Not at all. Nothing to be overly concerned with, Browns fans, in my opinion. Also, you sent to me, and I love it, our old turd of a buddy, OBJ, who leaves the Ravens, who somehow, like, can we have Odell Beckham Jr.'s agent who fleeced the Ratbirds for that 17 mil for doing squat? He tweeted out, bye Baltimore, blah, 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 thanks for the money, etc. But what did David Njoku do, Grant?
Just go Browns.
In the comments, go Browns. Like, has this guy, like David Njoku, I don't know the fire, he mentioned getting burned the fire, like,
absolutely.
Open. This guy's all Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, look back at the Pro Bowl where he was on the panel with Michael Parsons, and Micah said something along the lines of "It's just Cleveland." That didn't sit well with Njoku.
No.
I love it. This man is Cleveland, and this is what we need.
That's right. He is Cleveland, and our sick podcast brother, host Adam Rank too. Remember, he caught the ire of one David Njoku.
Yeah.
He's not messing around. We love you, Chief. We love you, Chief. He's amazing. Okay, so enough with the squealers and the division. Overall, Grant, I think from a free agency standpoint, I still feel it is pretty. I would put Pittsburgh at the bottom still, but I still feel the other three, like a healthy Joe Burrow, of course, you can't mess around with. It's still pretty muddied. Like I still think this is pretty much anybody's division to win outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, outside of Pittsburgh's one big free agent, I would say would be Patrick Queen.
I hate it. That's a nice pickup.
Yeah, I do. They're okay, but I don't see them competing with the top three teams in our division, which is Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, like we just said.
Yeah.
Unless we start getting hurt, this is blue collar football in the
Could
AFC
happen.
North, so it can happen. Baltimore scares me, as always.
Regular season scares me.
Yeah.
Postseason, they can't do anything, but we want to win the division. Yeah, they're a really good regular season team.
With their pickup of Derrick Henry, might make it a little bit more challenging to contain a QB like Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested in that one. It's because for Derrick Henry, Grant, he's on the downside as well. Still a big body. Yes. And, he's not the same 300 carry, just wrecking ball that he was. But on the odd play, he can still bulldoze you. So I'm interested to see how they incorporate them.
And it's going to take some pressure off of Lamar Jackson trying to make plays with his legs. I think that was the main reason for signing Derrick Henry. Cincinnati go out. They franchise tag T. Higgins. Now he's upset, demanding a trade.
Yeah.
So, and they haven't made too much of a splash in free agency that I know of because they're just not coming up as breaking news. I guess so I haven't paid much attention to Cincinnati. Yeah,
they haven't done anything really of note that I can tell. Hey, if we're missing something, hit us up in the comments too, folks. Let us.
They lost Joe Mixon, but
released Mixon.
You gotta like Chase Brown, I believe, correct?
Yeah. I don't mind Chase Brown. Let's. You know what? I'm curious. Let's take a quick gander at the Bengals roster as is. Now, the one frustrating part, of course, is all these teams in the AFC North, Grant, get to add first-round talent. We do not. So that's kind of the extra wild. Oh, they added Zach Moss. Did a great job in relief in Indy. I think that's more of a one-off.
He did.
I think it's more of a one-off. I don't think he's a feature back. So you're going to have to go really full-on committee, and that looks kind of what they're doing.
That's a very was that Baltimore or Cincinnati?
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if that was Baltimore, that's a real crowded running back room.
So they have Zach Moss as the lead back. He's not a lead back. So you go committee. T. Higgins. I never understand, Grant, why in the NFL, which is littered outside of Deshaun Watson's contract, of non-guarantees. You have 4-year, $100 million, 2 of it's guaranteed. That's the real contract. So if you're a player and you're getting whatever what is it, 15 mil, 17 mil, whatever, guaranteed, I know you want longer deals, but you're never going to see all that money. Like, heck, go the Kirk Cousins route, man. Take the guaranteed cash all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it from his route, being upset about the whole franchise tag. Could have a knee injury that sets him back. It happened a few years ago in Seattle to the defensive player. Blanking on his name.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, that's just the chances that you have to take with a franchise tag. But couldn't reach a deal. So do you blame the team?
They do it. You got Joe Burrow's money big time. You got Jamar Chase you're going to have to pay. Tyler Boyd's gone. So, they'll be, he's upset. He'll be fine. We should all have $15 million problems. Yeah. All right. Let's get to the Browns moves here. So we'll work in no specific order. So the Jerry Jeudy contract extension came down earlier today. Of course, they traded him for what was it, fifth and sixth round picks, which is good. And we know Andrew Berry has been after Jerry Jeudy for a while. A guy, Grant, who lots of hype coming out of college and just was in a bad situation pretty much all the time in Denver. Outside of 2022, had his best year. But for Jerry Jeudy, he has underwhelmed, not all his fault. But I see him sort of in the same case as Elijah Moore was. Fresh start, ready to prove yourself. Now, it didn't really work out for Elijah Moore last year. We're hoping it'll be different for Jerry Jeudy this year. Yeah,
and we don't. So it's tough to say. Was he the true number one in Denver, or was it Courtland Sutton?
Right.
From the eye test, it looks like Courtland Sutton, but we don't know. Mm-hmm. Coming to Cleveland, he's the true number two. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Amari's number one. He's number two.
And he idolizes Amari Cooper as well.
Hopefully go take a route running class with Amari Cooper. Learn how to run those crispy routes because you will be leaned upon during some games when Deshaun Watson cannot get the ball to Amari Cooper or Chief. So I like this trade. I just hope he can stay healthy, and I hope he can keep working to be a true number two receiver.
So contract, 3-year contract extension, heavy signing bonus, right, Grant?
Yeah, $41 million.
41 mil over 3 years, which is, for a guy who the team's been high on, and you hope, and boy, if things go really well, you would hope could potentially be the heir apparent to an Amari Cooper style-wise, whether it's a true number one or just a real point on the offense to go to. And I thought this was interesting as well. Amari Cooper, I don't remember when it was. I think it was sometime last year, some interview I heard. And he was asked, he's talking about his great route running and all. Who else runs? Who else do you think? And he mentioned Jerry Jeudy as route runner. He's like, Jerry Jeudy. And that's really interesting to me. He's going to be pumped to be here. You have Elijah Moore, and you mix in that room, and all of a sudden you look at it, and it's like, well, what else is needed on this team? And I don't think we talk enough about Cedric Tillman here, Grant. I really don't. I've mentioned it on previous shows. I think this guy coming eased into the league last year, was injured in college at the end with the year before. If this guy can develop, he has all the tools, the jump ball, the size, the speed, the willingness to block. This guy can be a number one receiver. It's going to take some doing, but boy, this is a real blue chip guy. And I don't think enough people are targeting Cedric Tillman as a possible breakout star.
Not at all. I'm actually excited to see what he can do this year.
Yeah, me too.
Because he's not going to have all the pressure on him like an Amari Cooper or a Jerry Jeudy. He can come in maybe 10, 15 plays a game, do what he can do, maybe get him the ball, maybe he can make a play here and there. But I like his tenacity, and he's just one of those Cleveland Browns players.
Yeah, willing blocker, like DPJ, who he essentially replaced, right? Like he's ferocious. I really hope that they try to work him in, and it looks like, just by the nature of the offense with Ken Dorsey, and that we are going to be seeing more shotgun. We are going to be seeing more 5 wide. He could be getting his chance. It comes down, of course, to the quarterback, Grant. It comes down to the quarterback, and let's go from Jerry Jeudy to backup quarterback. Which, let's face it, if Deshaun Watson gets hurt and or is not good, we're hosed. Okay, we probably would have been hosed with Joe Flacco as well. The odds of him catching it, Flacco fever. I was, thermometer in my mouth, through the roof temperatures. I love.
I was trying to bring you down.
You were trying to bring. I couldn't do it. I was all over Flacco. I loved it. I would have loved to have him back, but he's not here. So now we have to. Okay, he's not here. So now you bring in Jameis Winston, who the interceptions couldn't have been a concern because, oh boy, does he throw a lot of those.
He does.
But he's a big dude, big arm, and seems like despite, again, another character issue off field from a checkered past, but in the locker room, from all I can tell, he was loved in New Orleans. Like, those guys were rallying behind him.
And he loves to eat W, so.
Loves to eat that. He's an entertaining guy. He might not be a good guy, but he's an entertaining guy.
No.
So
I like his youth compared to Joe Flacco, but we're essentially signing the same quarterback, a quarterback that will probably go out and win you a couple games here and there.
He can
But
win.
he's going to turn the ball over just as many times as he's not.
Well, that's the thing. The other thing with Flacco too, could Deshaun Watson have learned stuff from him? You're not going to learn anything from Jameis Winston.
I don't know, just because they're such a different quarterback.
Yeah.
Flacco's in the pocket, going through his options. As soon as it breaks down for Deshaun, he's got the ability to get out and create plays that way. So I just don't know how much more you can learn from Flacco.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a fair comment. And again, it's really, if Deshaun isn't good, the Browns have put everything around him. Grant, everything has been built. Bringing in Dorsey, bringing in these types of quarterbacks, bringing in more receivers. The draft should still focus, in my opinion, depending who's available, on a wide receiver. Getting and re-upping Jerry Jeudy does not preclude you from taking a wide receiver at a high spot, because you, with the salary cap burn of $64 million for Deshaun Watson, you need those receivers on rookie contracts. And this, what I like is with Jeudy, you have another attempt by Andrew Berry, I think, to like, okay, well, if the wide receiver we get doesn't work out or not the guy we want, at least we have this. But man, you need to hit. There are tremendous receivers coming out every year, Grant, and we're not getting them.
Yeah, or we think we are, and we're completely missing.
Yeah.
AB's ability to draft receivers is something that's I'm not high on yet.
It's been a blind spot.
It has been.
Trading for them has been great, sort of, with Amari Cooper. Like, I don't know how well Elijah Moore was utilized last year. It seemed really scrambly with him. Like, I still like the player.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen. Then there's also David Bell, who got a couple touchdowns at the end. He's a catch, move the chain guy. Nothing super exciting.
No, so he could be a Jarvis Landry on this offense.
Yeah.
Go if you need a short yardage first down. Here's your possession kind of receiver.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect I wouldn't expect a big play to blow the roof off the defense. That's just not him.
But if you need a guy to catch the ball with real good hands, that's the guy. So, he has his place, but still, I'm thinking you still need that burner. You still need that take off the roof guy. Marquise Goodwin flashed a little bit last year, but then was injured, and he's not there. So it's like, okay, well, who's that guy? I don't think he's on the team, but oh boy, there are some speedsters. We were watching the combine. There are some speedsters that you can get.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Do you think Xavier Worthy would make it to the second round?
See, I haven't paid too much attention to the rookies this year. If he does and he's there, you have to take him.
It's that speed. And here's the thing.
He's not a John Ross.
He's not John or an Anthony Schwartz.
Or an Anthony Schwartz. This guy
catch the ball.
Yeah, can catch.
He's a proper receiver. Now he's slight, I think he's 165. But he also returned punts and kicks, which I know came in with Nyheim Hines, that we'll talk about as well. But for this guy, a lot of the time in college, of course, Grant, right? You come out, you're a star. You weren't returning kicks. You're the star in college. Xavier Worthy was doing that. So there's a few names you can get a speed guy who can do some stuff. Get us, the guy I really liked was what was it here? I got Adonai Mitchell. I think he had too good of a combine. I think we'll miss him. Oh, Grant, 6'2 and a quarter, 205 out of Texas, 4.35 second 40, 39.5-inch vertical.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. I don't think he's dropping.
I mean, look how Tyreek Hill's changed receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
So fast, he doesn't have to run great routes because he's got separation from just pure speed.
He's open.
Yeah, just throw it up there. He'll go run under it.
Just go get it. So we'll see if they, how that kind of pans out.
But you also have to look at this draft and be like, do we need a third running back?
I got the guy for you, my friend. Okay. And I think we can get him later. Now, where is he? Here he is. I tweeted this out at AndyMC81. Follow at SickPodBrowns. Where are you on Twitter, Grant?
At Grant_Gillilan.
Boom. Okay. Ray Davis. Okay. I mentioned this on the show before, but Ray Davis is my guy for exactly what we're looking for, because Nyheim Hines, again, we'll get more into him in a moment. Nice variety skill set. We don't have that Kareem Hunt. I need 2 yards guy. I need 2 yards. Kareem Hunt's going to get me 2 yards. I know it because he's going to will his way to do it. Without Nick Chubb, I don't have that with Jerome Ford. I don't have that with Pierre Strong, and I don't have that with Nyheim Hines. They can catch, they can do different things, but I don't have that guy that I know. He might not get you 5 yards, but he'll get you 2. Ray Davis is that guy out of Kentucky, 5'8" and 3/8, 211 pounds. Power runner here, Grant. Okay, 4.53 40. Not super fast. Don't need you to be super fast. 21 total touchdowns, rushing and catching. Excellent footwork, quick feet, decisive hitting the hole. That's what I really noticed in the combine when they do those drills where they're moving the thing, and then you see guys like this guy. The vision was just boom, boom. That's what you need. You're in close. Where's the hole? This guy finds it. Natural pass catcher as well. So if you need him to do that, but this is a day 3 guy. You can get him in the 6th round, I bet. Give me that guy.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean,
Come on.
He doesn't have to touch the ball 30, 40 times a game.
No.
Come in goal line situations, 3rd and shorts. Although
he's a power guy.
Deshaun Watson is a big guy.
He doesn't like sneaking though.
He doesn't like sneaking, but he's big enough that we can run him off the edge through a shotgun.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Is Jameis Winston a good because his size, I don't know if he's a good quarterback sneaker or not. Because he's big.
He is big, and I don't know. I would have to go back and watch all. But
yeah,
in New Orleans, that's not something they would run.
That's the thing. Like and I don't know if he did in Tampa Bay or whatever, but for his side, boy, if he was willing, he could maybe do a Jacoby Brissett thing, right? Or just come in 4th and 1 and
yeah.
I don't know. That's the question we have to look at. Okay, let's get through some of these signings here. Let's talk about Nyheim Hines here. Okay, so brought in, familiarity with Bubba Ventrone in Indianapolis, can return kicks and punts, has scored touchdown grants. Good Lord, wouldn't that be nice in Cleveland? Holy cow, man! Like that's the last time we had that. He's done that. Nice scat back, can catch out of the backfield. Zippy, but he's catch and run, not in between the tackle. What did you think of the Hines signing?
So as soon as he signed, I think I texted you and said, "This is a special team signing." Totally. There's no other reason that he's on this team other than special teams.
Yeah.
Joaquin Grant, or I forget his.
Hakeem Grant. Hakeem Grant, who never played.
Yeah.
He's Gonzo.
It's his substitute.
Yeah. Which he's done good work. Now the Browns also re-signed James Prochet, who was fine. Like the bar was so low for us. Like he had some explosiveness, but that was going from just like hoping guys didn't drop the ball. So
I mean, he did drop it in a big.
He did drop it once. You're right.
In the Baltimore game.
He did.
It was like, what are you doing?
Yes, actually, you're right. Yeah, he did drop it. Yeah, you're right. But so you bring him back. So you got a kick, you got a punt guy. You have a little bit of options there. So let's look at it this way. Is it an upgrade for special teams with Hines and Prochet?
Slightly.
Yes. Yeah. I think from that standpoint. And again, for depth, someone gets dinged up at running back. Hines has done it. He can be a scat back guy. I'm okay with it.
Didn't he come off a knee injury?
Yes. So it was apparently just some fluke. I saw a ski jet accident. I'm like, oh, I was being an idiot. No, he was standing on the dock and some idiot with a ski jet hit him. Poor guy. He's just standing there. He gets hit with a ski jet. You believe a ski-doo zinged him, knocked him off. But he's got familiarity with Ken Dorsey. He's got familiarity with Bubba Ventrone. So nice veteran signing as part of that room until Nick Chubb comes back, right? You need that. Yeah. You mix in a Ray Davis type, like I said there, I think you're in good shape. And then you can ease Nick Chubb back in. The big signing after Chris Jones re-upped with Kansas City, Christian Wilkins was paid a huge amount by the Raiders, I think. I think it was the Raiders, yeah. Then the Browns are like, well, okay, we need a defensive tackle. You went and got the best of the rest. This kind of feels like the Dalvin Tomlinson one last year where they wanted, was it Hargrave, I think? Couldn't get him, so you got Dalvin Tomlinson. Turned out to have a nice year. Quentin Jefferson of the Jets had a really nice year, 6 sacks beside Quinnen Williams. And so we have to look at it again, Grant. Is this an upgrade? This is replacing Jordan Elliott. Elliott did Nothing. Elliott left. He did nothing. So this is an upgrade. Defensive line.
It is.
Better.
It is. And once again, all you have to do is take a little bit of pressure off of Myles Garrett.
Yep.
And you're not going to be facing that many double teams because it's going to be on Garrett. So just go in there, stop the run, get a little bit of pressure on the QB if needed. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
I think this might be the easiest position to play on this team since you got Myles Garrett on one side and Zadarius Smith on the other.
Yeah. Re-signing Zadarius Smith as well. Yeah, if it's me, I'm putting Myles Garrett. I'm putting right beside him Jefferson, right? Because for all of Jadeveon Clowney's many, many faults and unlikable traits, he did say something very interesting a couple of years ago. Someone asked him about, how does it feel complimenting Myles Garrett on the opposite? We always talk about bookends for pass rushers. And he said, it's not the opposite pass rusher that helps the other pass rusher. It's the tackle beside him. If you have a penetrating tackle right beside you, everything opens up. I thought that was very interesting. And this is what Jefferson can do because Tomlinson can be kind of that plug. Jefferson beside him, and you got Garrett. That's a nice 1-2 combo. The defensive line improves in that rotation.
Yes.
And Mo Hurst is back too, who apparently spilled the beans on the the Brazil trip.
If this is true, I'm not going to be too happy, but at least it's not a home game that we're giving up.
Yeah. Which Mo Hurst, like this guy's awesome. He's putting out gifs of like Jim in the office, like lowering in the car and all. It's amazing. Well, Mo Hurst, he's a good. I put him in the tweet gif, or maybe that's Shelby Harris. Yeah. But Mo Hurst, great again when healthy, great penetrator. His whole career hasn't been able to stay healthy, so you have that rotation. So you run it back with everyone. You add Jefferson, you get rid of Elliott, you're better. The linebacker, Jordan Hicks, replacing Anthony Walker, who I know he was not your favorite, my friend, with being injury prone. This is a guy, 5 straight years, 100+ tackles, no Schwartz's system from Philly. This kind of is if we harken back, remember DeQuell Jackson, way back for the Browns? So look, he's not going to get you a ton of sacks, but he's going to get a lot of tackles, and he's going to keep guys in front of him. No, that's what you need. You need a leader.
He's what we were hoping Anthony Walker would be.
Yeah.
He's going to come in, fill the gap. He's going to hit you.
Yeah, that's it.
Like you said, 107 tackles last year, and I think he missed 4 games, which is unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. Jeez. Yeah, he's a workhorse. 31, I believe. Brown's signings were a bit older, which is another shown of adaptation by Andrew Berry. Remember, he wouldn't touch anybody elderly in NFL terms previously. So we got him. Devin Bush, I like the signing. Now on paper, he had a great rookie year by the Steelers. Remember, the Steelers moved up 10 spots to get him in the first round from 20 to 10. Great rookie year. I think it was his ACL, and hasn't been doing stuff since. This replaces the Sione Takitaki role of special teamer who can be a reserve linebacker since the Browns typically only have 2 linebackers on the field.
Yeah, and he'll come in a couple plays here and there.
Yeah. Just
because you don't have linebackers that play 100% of the snaps. You just don't in the NFL.
Yeah.
Too much running side to side and down line to the quarterback. So I just think as long as he comes in, does his thing.
Yeah.
And if somehow he can just flash just a little bit to his old self, it's a great signing.
It is. And I like Takitaki. I feel this move might be a wash, sort of a.
Yeah, I think Takitaki's a little bit better. Honestly,
I think he is right now. I think the ceiling for Bush could be higher, but we have to see it.
Yes, and I just think Takitaki, he started coming into the role of the linebacker after Walker got hurt, and we started seeing him to come out and play. I mean, he had a few big plays that saved us from a few games, interceptions, big tackles. So
yeah, I'm surprised Barry didn't work to re-sign him. I'm not sure what his deal was. I don't think it was anything overly crazy. He got
I'm not 100% sure.
But
once you're not a Cleveland Brown, you're not
in our life. You're out. Yeah. You're out.
What did Freddie Kitchen say? If you're not wearing brown and orange, you don't
matter. Oh, Freddie. He had more. His shirts and quotes were phenomenal. The rest, though, a little to be desired. So So we got, Jefferson was the big signing. Jordan Hicks I put right underneath there. Maurice Hurst, as we said, re-signed. Devin Bush. The tight end, Giovanni Ricci, who I think, what is it, Grant, has like 5 career catches?
Yeah.
He ain't here for offense.
He's right to me right now. He's a jag, just a guy. So I don't have anything else to say to him because I don't know.
To be honest, before he signed, I have never heard of him. He is a TE/back, so he'll be kind of that hybrid fullback type. He's an inline blocker, apparently very rugged, very tough, great blocker. So you brought him in for that. Certainly a shift from the tight end heavy look that Kevin Stefanski has really gone to and liked this whole time in Cleveland. So Harrison Bryant gone, so you lose that offense.
I don't agree with that one.
I don't think you had to pay that much to keep him.
No.
Right? But there's not going to be that many tight ends on the field this year, Grant, right? There's going to be Chief, you got Akins, you'll have Ricci blocking, and the rest are going to be wide receivers.
But is Akins really going to be on the field that much? And is he that much better than Harrison Bryant? I don't think so.
No.
Harrison at least was young. Yeah. He played that hybrid fullback tight end role just fine, other than the stupid QB sneaks that Stefanski thought we were going to try to run with Harrison Bryant, which makes no sense. No. But he had reliable hands. He was a reliable catch.
Yeah, he was good. He was a good player. So Ricci is a different type, so it's not even so you lose on the tight end side. But if the plan is not to use as many tight ends, okay, maybe they draft one later. Not a great year, I don't believe, for tight ends in the draft anyway. So
outside of Bowers, I don't think so. Cade Stover, I'm high on Cade Stover just because there's just nobody in that tight end class this year.
No,
it's
and
not.
You know what? They'll just go more receivers.
Yeah.
If that's the case, which is another reason you need draft a receiver at 54. You need more playmakers. So let's see. There's also Tony Brown was announced signing. Pure special teamer, knows Bubba Ventrone. That's it. He has 1 career sack.
This might just be a training camp signing, honestly.
Apparently he was with Bubba a core special teamer. So you got to, like we forget, it's not the sexiest side of the football, but you need to fill it out, and we know what happens if it doesn't look good. So you had a core guy to Ventrone's side. You lost Mike Ford in free agency, so you needed a bit of a replacement there. You get the corner. Okay, it's not exciting, but if it's a piece, and Bubba wants him, knows how to use him, okay. Probably not a name we're going to mention maybe ever again.
Probably not. And if he does make a play, we'll all be scratching our heads like, who's this guy?
Who's that?
When did he make the team? How did he make the?
Yeah, when did he do that?
We'll have all those questions.
Yeah. Corey Bojorquez, punter, re-signed, which is great.
Love it.
Phenomenal year. Hakeem Adeniji, guard, rotation guy. That's fine. Good Lord, we know we needed offensive line depth last year.
Yeah, no kidding.
And Michael Dunn. Really glad they brought back Michael Dunn. This guy is an unsung workhorse on that O-line, man. He's good.
Yeah, he's just a solid guy. And unfortunately, he faced injury as well, correct? Last year?
He battled a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
He battled. He was in and out.
Yeah, calf injury.
But boy, man, you add that type of depth, I love it, right? So you got that. And now we look, it's like, and then I think that was it for signings, really. Hurst. They brought on Mike Vrabel, consultant.
Oh, I love it.
So I don't know. Who knows what he does? Does he do anything? I don't know.
It sounds like he's just going to be a sounding board for Stefanski and Schwartz.
Which is cool. Because remember, Stefanski lost Bill Callahan, his go-to veteran sounding board. So to bring in a Vrabel, if he uses him that way, I think is smart.
Yeah, and I would love to see him on the sideline.
That'd be cool. I don't know if they have consultants on the side. That'd be neat.
But just bring a little bit of toughness to this team. I told you when we first signed him, let's go get Greg Williams now. We'll by far have the toughest team in the league.
He's still in Cleveland. He does shows.
Yeah.
We should try to get Greg Williams on.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
I love that guy, man. You know what? I swear, if if the Browns, John Dorsey, his one mistake was the Freddie Kitchens thing. If he would have made Greg Williams head coach, kept Freddie as OC, we might be having a very different conversation of how this team turned out.
We could be looking at a completely different team. I believe we would probably still have Baker.
All my Baker stuff would still be relevant.
But yeah, it would be interesting. I did like how Dorsey drafted.
Yeah.
I think he's a better drafter.
I agree.
Draft talent than AB.
And AB seems to be maybe a bit better on the trade because his other mistake was getting OBJ.
Yeah.
Which was
he's
the one who ran Baker out of town. His stupid father.
It just makes me sometimes wish that we don't have to go through all these changes.
I know.
It makes me sad as a Browns fan. But
yeah,
looking back at it, would we be making playoff runs like we did last year? I mean, not playoff runs, but having a season like we did last year with Dorsey and his guys. I don't know.
I don't know. You know, who knows? Who knows how far? Look, this all comes down to really one thing. Every aspect of this team is ready to win now.
Yes.
The defense, the special teams, the offensive line, the receivers, if you had a rookie there on paper, running backs you can get by. Comes down to quarterback.
Yes, and I truly think Deshaun Watson has the ability to be that quarterback.
Yeah. We've seen flashes.
We've seen flashes. We've seen it in the Tennessee game last year. We've seen it in the last half of the Baltimore game. Yep.
Looked phenomenal the second half, and then he was hurt, and that was it.
Yeah.
That looked like we were just breaking through. That's like, okay, now we're ready to go, and then it was all gone. Yeah.
And then we had to turn to PJ Walker, DTR, which now
and then Flacco.
Okay, yeah, we missed somebody here.
Oh, we did miss somebody. You're right.
Huntley.
Interesting.
Which is a very interesting signing. Is this just a camp arm?
Legs, I think. That guy can't throw worth a damn.
Is this somebody that we bring on the squad? So he's a practice squad quarterback. So when we're playing Lamar Jackson, he can emulate him.
Right.
I just when that signing came through, I was scratching my head. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. And then I started thinking, do we like him better than Jameis Winston?
Oh, because God, I hope not.
He went into when he came in for Lamar Jackson. What was it? 2 years ago? He took or was it 3 years ago? Whatever.
I think it was 2 when he had when he played the most games.
The playoff run.
Bowl.
Yeah. Well, he took Cincinnati all the way down to the final seconds, and if he would have just held on to that ball, he's got playoff experience. He knows how to win games.
He's very fast.
He's very fast. He's very athletic. Do we have to change the playbook that much for him compared to a Jameis if Watson gets hurt?
That's the thing. And like Jameis Winston is not like he can move somewhat, but I wouldn't call him mobile. I'd call him closer to a Jacoby Brissett mobility type, right? Like he can move a little bit, but he's not going to be taken off. Look, Huntley, if it's to scout, if it's to, you could put him or DTR on the practice squad. I don't think there's going to be a super big demand. And then you always have the chance to sign them if you need to. But for Huntley, all right, you get some in-division information, see how it goes in camp. They only have 5 picks, so maybe they don't draft a QB. The one guy, I brought it up last week, quarterback, that I want them to draft or get even maybe as an undrafted free agent was, where was it here? Was Keaton Slovis, 6'2", played at 3 different schools, big hands, ran the fastest 40. Now, I know a bunch of the guys didn't run, but out of the ones that did, ran the fastest 40 for QBs. Crisp, short throws, the footwork cramp. When at the combine, what I look for, because you see so many guys are sloppy, did automatic, pop, back, plant, boom. Was hitting all those sorts, intermediate with planting. The knock on him, he got hurt at the end of last year. Not injury prone, but got hurt and had 3 different schools, so never really found his base. You can get him probably 7th round or undrafted. And he didn't run, but with that speed, he is mobile. So somebody like that, I think, would be interesting to bring in as well, and just kind of see like where do they fall? Does one go to the practice squad? Do you keep Huntley? Do you not? Like,
yeah, you have to keep DTR. I'm guessing at this point you don't want to let him go
at this rookie contract.
On this really cheap rookie contract, and he's shown flashes. I mean, he's
beat Pittsburgh.
Beat Pittsburgh. I mean, can't really say too much on preseason because he's going against 2s and 3s, and I believe he started at 4 in the 4 spot at one point in time. So, but we've seen consistency out of him. He goes out, he throws blocks. I mean, he
shouldn't. That's why he gets hurt.
But he's that. I said it before. He's that kind of Cleveland guy, blue collar. Like he's there. He's going to play hard for you.
Boy, if he was built like Jameis Winston, I'd like it a lot.
But
he's so slender and he gets hurt.
I mean, it's the NFL. You can put muscle on.
Yeah, beef it up, DTR. Come on, bud.
Yeah,
come on. Start benching. Let's go. Yeah, with Tyler, it's an interesting quarterback room. I wouldn't mind again if they added just kind of a bit of a raw guy with some upside. Who knows? Everyone's going to be looking for their Brock Purdy, right?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
And we know if you went through as many quarterbacks as we did last year, you might
not very many of them.
You might need all of them on the roster. Interesting signing period. It's not a signing period for the Browns, Grant, that I would be like, wow, I was blown away or super excited about. But I think it got the job done for what you needed to do pre-draft. It's still incomplete because there's the draft, but I think you got done what you needed done.
We knew there was a hole at linebacker. Even if we brought Anthony Walker back, I believe there's still a hole because he wouldn't play a full season.
Yeah.
We knew there was a slight hole in the wide receiver room, and we got that. But
defensive tackle.
Yep.
Needed that with Jordan Elliott gone.
Especially with Elliott gone. We got some depth on our offensive line.
Yeah. We re-signed our guy, re-signed the D line.
Yeah.
Really? With Smith and Hurst.
I did see they were working with Rodney McLeod. Did anything come of that?
Last I heard, I think they're interested both sides, but nothing's been done. Interesting free agent class for safety. A lot of big names.
Yeah, boy. A lot of big names going elsewhere.
So here's the thing. Bring back Rodney McLeod, fine by me, which is good because could you have asked for anything more than Ronnie Hickman and DeAnthony Bell? Can we reward those guys? Oh, man. Like, those were starting caliber guys, came in and balled out. Bring in McLeod, fine, but give me some more Ronnie Hickman and DeAnthony Bell, please.
Yeah.
I loved it.
What would you do with Newsome?
That's the question.
Are you still dangling him out there for trade bait?
Well, we have till, I think, May 2nd. You got to figure out that 5th-year option. Honestly, I'd keep him and I wouldn't sign him to the 5th year.
I agree.
He's the 3rd best corner. I don't think he's worth the 13 mil, but have him come back. Like, that's why as well. I don't think we should be surprised if we sign Drew Barry, draft another developmental corner. Also, we still have Cameron Mitchell, who didn't have to do too much last year that they liked and could bring along.
Yep.
Like maybe Cameron Mitchell impresses and it's like, okay, well, hey, he can be the new 3rd on a cheap rookie deal.
Yeah.
So if it's me, I don't sign him to the 5th. Hey, man, play it out. You ball out. Let's see what happens. You don't. Maybe you get him back cheap. Who knows?
Jedrick.
That's really boy.
Because as much as we complained about him, we definitely missed him.
Yeah.
When he went down.
Yeah, that's true. So is he in the same case? Do we have to figure out the 5th? No, he's on his 5th year.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna look at him right now, quick.
I think we have to sign him to his 5th.
But offensive line don't have any stats. Damn it. Well, he got drafted 2020. 2020, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is because they picked up the 5th. So this is the 5th. Yeah, you know what? Because he's always kind of been like, okay, he's kind of solid, but then kind of not. And Well, I think too, with DeJuan Jones, is there an appetite to move him over to left tackle eventually? Jack Conklin, we know we can't rely on.
Yeah. I was surprised we didn't make a move to get rid of him.
I think the contract was too big. It's so, what a horrible as good as Andrew Berry is with contracts usually. That's a terrible deal.
I am scared. If we don't win in the next 2 years, I am scared to see our contract situation because we can only push this back so far. Players are going to want their money. They're going to stop signing extensions.
Yep.
We're going to have to pay them. We're going to be in contract hell just like the Rams were after they won their Super Bowl.
And if we win the Super Bowl, cool.
Yeah.
I'll take whatever contract hell you want. But
yeah,
we got to win that one. And that's why I think Andrew Berry is going to do everything possible not to restructure Deshaun Watson's deal this year because you have to eat the $64 million on the cap at some point. And if you do it this year, you still have to do it. And there's still $9 million added on to a dummy 2027 year. So if you can eat the 64, and if the cap goes up again next year, you can eat it again, and you can kind of try to get yourself out of it a little bit. But
luckily this cap went up much higher than anybody was expecting, and it helped big time. Yeah, it really was useful. So yeah, man, we'll see. Next step is kind of keeping an eye, see how things go for the draft. Again, is wide receiver at where you would go, Grant? Probably that or running back.
At 54?
Depending on who's there. If there's not a wide receiver there, are you just taking the best wide receiver, or are you going to grab a running back that can help us?
And it depends too, because it's not the best year for running backs, but with all the quarterbacks being taken in this first round, theoretically, as many as 6 possibly, there are going to be some good players being pushed down.
Yeah.
Right. So that could be interesting. All right, buddy. Good. I think we covered a lot of ground. I think we got everything sorted out. We want to hear from all of you. What did you think of the Browns free agency? Anybody, any other trades you want? What position do you want them to go in the draft? What have you thought so far of the players the Browns have brought in and not signed also? Hit us up on Twitter at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81. Click the notification, subscribe, leave the comment section, all that. Grant, tell people where they can find you, what you're up to, buddy.
Yeah, you can find me at Twitter at Grant_Gillilan. You can find some of my work at IDP Plus on their YouTube channel. I don't do too much on the camera, but I am all behind the scenes. So I'm also finishing up our rookie guide too. So if you're into IDP or even offense, we got 100 different players right now, and that list is growing.
Okay. All right. Well, that's going to be must-read material as the draft approaches quickly at the end of April.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, good stuff, buddy. Thanks for going through this all with me. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, Andy.
All right. Anytime, bud. There he goes. Grant Gillilan from IDP Guys on IDP Plus. I really liked going through that and being able to kind of reassess. Feel pretty good about where the Browns are. Feel pretty good about where they are in the division. Okay? Again, let me know what you think. You scared of Pittsburgh? Russell Wilson and Justin Fields? Where do you think the Browns rank in the AFC North? All right. And now we look to the draft and start building towards that. So we'll be back with the show next week. Subscribe, leave the comments, follow us on social at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81 on Instagram, at AndyMCSports. Thanks to Grant. Thanks to Sammy. Thanks to the whole crew. Thanks to you. And we'll see you next time on the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara. As always, go Browns.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.